Right now at 10, Lacing Up for a Cause, a special fundraiser tonight for a local woman battling a medical mystery.
And for the first time since it happened, we're hearing from one of the two children shot after throwing a snowball at a vehicle in Milwaukee.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. We are keeping a very close watch on the forecast as 2 rounds of snow get ready to hit southern Wisconsin.
The first round arrives tomorrow night with light snow, and the second round Saturday afternoon and night will pack quite the punch. Let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our first alert forecast. Gary?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to believe that we're expecting heavy snow by Saturday after seeing near record high temperatures today. In fact, high temperatures today were in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Madison hit a high of 49, but it was as warm as 53 in Boscobel and 51 in Milwaukee. Right now, temperatures have dropped to 40 here in Madison. Milwaukee's still at 50 degrees, but notice those temperatures cooling off to our north and west. That's the cold front comes through. Might be a little patchy fog, not seeing much of it out there right now, but snow will develop late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. About 1 to 3 inches likely from Madison on toward the south and east, maybe slightly heavier amounts over southeastern Wisconsin, and there could be some freezing rain with ice potential down toward the Illinois state line. Second round of snow late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, perhaps 6 to 10 inches in the Madison area, maybe amounts near a foot over parts of east central Wisconsin, a little bit less to the north and west. By tomorrow morning, look for cloudy skies, maybe a little patchy fog, temperatures dropping off to around 30. Tomorrow will be a cloudy and colder day, slight chance of a rain or snow shower mainly south of Madison with a high of 36, but the real fun starts tomorrow evening. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
All right, to stay up to date on the very latest developments with these storm systems, download our Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. Local forecast put together by our weather team. Interactive radars and up-to-the-minute traffic information all available for free. Next at 10, the Sauk Prairie community coming together to support a member of the United States Army fighting an undiagnosed illness.
Danica Lewis joins us with the story of this medical mystery.
Well, Alyssa Grunder, a member of the ROTC, has been in and out of the hospital since Halloween after she began slurring words and having difficulty forming sentences. Now, more than 2 months later, doctors still have not been able to diagnose her. Tonight, she spoke to a crowd at the Sauk Prairie Baraboo basketball game.
It means a lot to me and my family, and we've been through a lot of tough 3 months.
Alyssa's fiance, Sean McGann, is the head coach of the Sauk Prairie basketball team and a graduate of Baraboo High School. Tonight at the game between those two schools, a benefit is raising money to help her family pay for medical bills.
Oh my gosh, we put this event together in 9 days. So that just goes to show how amazing the two communities are.
I think it just kind of shows everyone how amazing and how close we are as a community. So the holidays, you kind of separate and you're around your families, but then when something happens that affects one person in our community, it's kind of awesome to see everyone come together.
Tonight's benefit included more than 70 donated items ranging from just a few dollars to a few $1,000s. The family says with kids at home and trips to the hospital, it has been critical to rely on family and the community to help out. So the organizers of today's event say that the GoFundMe page for Alyssa has already passed its goal of $50,000. They say every penny is going to Alyssa and the family to help during this tough time.
Earlier this week, we told you about 2 Milwaukee kids who were shot over a thrown snowball last weekend. Well, tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from one of those kids, just 13 years old, who was shot.
I had 2 holes in my coat, and then that's when I realized blood started coming out my arms.
Johnson was with a group of kids on Saturday who were throwing snowballs on their way to the park. One of the snowballs hit a moving vehicle. The driver opened fire on the group of kids, hitting him and his female cousin. The suspect has not been arrested, and both kids are expected to survive.
Governor Tony Evers and fellow Democratic lawmakers have introduced a series of proposals designed to reduce overcrowded prisons without support from Republican leaders. However, they are unlikely to gain any traction in the GOP-controlled legislature. Governor Evers said he hoped the proposals would spur a bipartisan discussion on the need to address the state's rising prison population, which is expected to reach 25,000 inmates by 2021. The governor today also commenting on a Republican proposal to make English the official language of Wisconsin.
To me, a bill like that is a solution seeking a problem. I don't know what problem it solves other than to offend some people.
3 Republican lawmakers are currently circulating the proposal to get co-sponsors. They say English proficiency is vital to American society. 2 of the senators introduced a similar proposal back in 2013, but it did not get a public hearing.
A longtime Democratic state senator says he is retiring when his current term ends next January. Senator Dave Hansen of Green Bay made the announcement today. The move will create a tougher road for his party to win a majority in the chamber this fall. Right now, Republicans hold a 19-14 majority in the Senate. Reigniting a constitutional debate over war powers, the Democratic-controlled House has approved a resolution asserting that President Trump must seek approval from Congress before engaging in further military action against Iran. The war powers resolution is not binding on the president and would not require his signature. The House has passed the measure 224 to 194 with almost no Republican support. The Senate is expected to take it up in the next couple of weeks. Tonight, new video reportedly shows the moment an airliner was shot down in the Middle East, killing nearly 180 people 2 days ago. It shows what appears to be a missile fired into the Iranian sky, striking an object. Another showing a massive explosion as something hits the ground. Neither of these videos have been authenticated, but were taken right around the same time the plane crashed. Several world leaders say the plane may have been shot down by an Iranian missile.
That is a hero's welcome for American firefighters arriving in Australia today to help battle the country's devastating fires. The last time U.S. firefighters worked in Australia was back in 2010. The country's wildfires have been going now for months. They burned nearly 18 million acres. That's an area larger than the entire countries of Belgium and Denmark combined. Those fires have been blamed now for 27 deaths. Human trafficking is likely underreported here in Wisconsin. That's one of the conclusions of a new statewide report assessing the problem and the response. Those findings announced today in Milwaukee by Attorney General Josh Kaul.
We need to make sure that when law enforcement is encountering cases that may at first appear to be prostitution cases, that they're instead continuing their investigation and making sure that if what they're really seeing is human trafficking, that there is a thorough and full investigation being conducted into the people who are the major wrongdoers here, and that's the human traffickers.
Survey found between 2014 and 2017, there were 118 human trafficking incidents officially reported, another 139 that could have been trafficking or prostitution. Now, Kaul says they are also focused on the Democratic National Convention coming up this summer. They are already working with hotels to recognize signs of human trafficking ahead of that event.
The city of Appleton is considering a ban on conversion therapy. The city's health board unanimously approved a proposal to prevent licensed medical professionals from performing this controversial therapy on children. Religious institutions and adults seeking therapy won't be affected under this proposal. It now goes to the full city council for a vote. A little boy in Newburgh, Ohio, getting a standing ovation for winning the biggest battle of his young life. John Oliver Zippe, also known as J.O., receiving his final round of chemotherapy 2 days after Christmas, ending a 3-year battle with leukemia. So yesterday, teachers and classmates at his school took time to celebrate J.O.'s win over the disease. He spent 18 days in the hospital, followed by several years of chemo. But despite his ailment, he never fell behind in school.
Oh, a good smile on him, huh? Well, we have some good news about the puppy. You may recall the Humane Society was helping after being thrown from the window of a moving car in Madison. Today, the Dane County Humane Society says despite the trauma he suffered and having to have a leg amputated, Kringle has been adopted. He is healthy, happy, excited to be starting the new year with a loving family. And still ahead tonight, your updated forecast. We're keeping a close eye on the weekend.
But first, how some of the highest rated companies in Madison are combating worker burnout. This News 3 Now exclusive is next.
Welcome back. 2/3 of full-time workers experience job burnout. That's according to a recent Gallup study.
And those who experience burnout are more than twice as likely to be searching for a new job. Gabriela Becerra visited 3 of Madison's top-ranked places to work to find out what they do to retain employees and keep them happy.
I have worked in the investment business.
All right, you didn't hit pause on your DVR, though. We just had a little technical issue. So we're going to move on to our next story. The Packers are getting ready for some snow this weekend. Today, the team sent out a notification asking for shovelers to help clear Lambeau Field before Sunday's game.
They have had to do this a few times already this year, and beginning at 6 a.m. Sunday, the Packers will take the first 700 people in line to help shovel out those stands. Volunteers will make $12 an hour. Well, high winds made for some big waves along the western shore of Lake Michigan. This video is from Kewanee today. A combination of these waves and high water levels are making for some local flooding concerns.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now, and he's been talking about the weather heading our way this weekend, and really like 2 waves coming, Gary.
Yeah, the first one tomorrow night, the second one Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, not only has heavy snow, but also strong winds. So you saw that video out of Kewanee. That's going to be the case again along the western shore of Lake Michigan. But 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Tomorrow will be a colder day. Should be relatively quiet. Temperatures dropping into the middle 30s for high temperatures. Maybe a chance for a rain or snow shower south of Madison. First round of snow arrives tomorrow night. Could be mixed with a little freezing rain, especially near the Illinois state line. So that's something to keep in mind. But about 1 to 3 inches of snow out of that burst. And then the main event, the heavy snow and windy conditions for Saturday afternoon and Saturday night across most of southern Wisconsin. Alert days in the forecast for that 1 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow night, and then the freezing rain near the Illinois state line. The heavy snow later Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. About 3 to 7 inches of snow north and west of Madison. 6 to 12 inches from Madison on toward the south and east. Have an alert day in for Sunday as well. Even though the snow will end early and probably won't fall through much of the day, if at all, still there will be some big travel impacts, at least on Sunday morning. Snowfall from the first snow system, generally pretty light. There might be a band of about 3 inches or more down into far southeastern Wisconsin, but the main heavy snow will be from Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. And you can kind of see that swath from north central Illinois into east central Wisconsin. That's where the most likely area of finding around a foot of snow is. But these areas could shift north or south by maybe a count or 2. I mean, at this point, once you get above 6 or 8 inches of snow, you're just talking about bragging rights. Down to the south, freezing rain could be a big problem if you're traveling southward into northern Illinois later tomorrow night into Saturday morning. There could be as much as 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of ice accumulation, and even into parts of far southeastern Wisconsin. Then another surge of ice might head toward Michigan later on in the day. As far as the winter storm watches that are already in effect, they stretch from Iowa and Illinois and through much of southern and eastern Wisconsin. If you're planning travel basically between tomorrow night and Sunday morning through any of this area, keep a very close eye on the forecast. Live view from the Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison. Skies are mostly cloudy. I'm still not seeing much in the way of fog around the lights of the Capitol. Low this morning, 19. That was right after midnight. Our high temperature soared to 49 degrees, and you can see that was only 4 degrees from the record high of 53 set back in 2002. Right now, we've dropped to 40 degrees. We've dropped about 5 degrees in the last hour. Mostly cloudy skies. Winds have started to shift to the southwest, and eventually they'll go over to the southwest or to the west over the next couple of hours as the colder air moves in. You see those high temperatures, upper 40s to lower 50s through southern Wisconsin. Temperatures a little more seasonable, but still above normal in the northern part of the state. But right now, you can certainly see the effects that cold front has had. Milwaukee's still at 50, Madison's at 40. Temperatures are in the 20s to our west. And look for highs tomorrow in the middle 30s. Now, this first little weather system that moved through brought us a surge of milder air. Here comes our snow for tomorrow night, and then the main event, this is storm right back here. It doesn't look too impressive right now, but it'll tap into moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So not only will we have snow and ice through the upper Midwest, the southern part of the United States, basically from Arkansas and Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and into Georgia, could be looking at a pretty significant severe weather outbreak over the next couple of days with the possibility for tornadoes and high winds. But right now, this cold front will start putting us on the colder side of the storm system. We're watching low pressure developing to our south and west, and that's where our next weather maker will come from. Winter storm watch is in effect from late tomorrow night into Sunday for parts of southeastern Wisconsin, elsewhere from noon tomorrow on. Low of 30 tonight with cloudy skies and some patchy fog. Tomorrow, relatively quiet, maybe a rain or snow shower south of Madison with a high of 36. On future track, temperatures dropping to around 30 overnight. Quiet for much of the day tomorrow with a high of 36. Here comes the snow. Notice by 10 p.m., snowing pretty steadily through much of southern Wisconsin with some freezing rain to the south. By Saturday morning, that ends. Then Saturday afternoon, here comes the next round of snow. That lifts to the north, and you can see snowfall amounts 1 to 3 inches from the first burst, but that second burst, Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, that's where the really heavy snow kicks in. And again, some freezing rain toward the Illinois state line. 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures a little more seasonal as we have snow on the ground for the early part of next week. And then there'll be some chances for accumulating snow Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night into Saturday morning of next week.
So just kind of top things off, if
Yeah,
you will.
just a bit, you know.
Oh, boy. All right,
go.
here it is.
You're right.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Seahawks think they can slow down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers this weekend. We'll hear from both teams after the break. Again, 2/3 of full-time workers experience some kind of job burnout. That's according to a recent study by Gallup.
And those who do experience burnout are more than twice as likely to be searching for a new job. Gabriela Becerra reports.
I have worked in the investment business, which was a period of extremely long hours and no work-life balance.
So when Paul Shane made the switch to the tech industry, work-life balance became an important factor in building his company.
How could we create a culture that was really inviting and inclusive for everybody? How could we create a business model that provided the resources to reinvest in the business and reinvest in our people?
Single Wire distributes an emergency and mass notification system called Informacast. The company employs more than 100 people, and over the past 10 years, Shane says he's focused on what is best for the company and those employees.
We've tried to create an environment for success, and what we mean by that is the tools you need, the education you need, the opportunity to engage with customers and learn firsthand what they need, and then also an opportunity to try to create a physical environment that's really pleasant.
Signs of job burnout could range from fatigue and low motivation to illness and depression. Leaders at companies voted the best place to work in Madison say meeting with employees regularly could bring those issues to light. Take Heather Kleist with digital asset management company Wyden.
That's where you can catch those signs early on and figure out the reasons behind it. You know, is it due to their job, or do they no longer have a passion for the business that we're in? And a lot of times what we found is it's stuff going on in their personal lives as well.
Most people talk about that they really value that they feel like they're a part of the team, that they understand that we value them as humans and we value their families.
Anna Stern, who runs Tri-North, is one of many companies that make it possible for employees to do their entire job from home.
Understand that life happens and that we need to provide an opportunity for people to deal with the work-life challenges that come along.
Burnout also takes a toll on the company's health, something Shane looked at when starting Single Wire.
How could we create an environment that people wanted to come and work here and stay here for a long time so that we could reduce our turnover?
That makes a sense of mutual trust and fair treatment between boss and employee.
If you give people that flexibility and you hold them accountable for what they need to get done, and they're accountable to and for each other, we find it is not a problem. And we find that people embrace it, they welcome it, they value it, and it makes for a better job satisfaction.
And that's something we can all work toward. Gabriela Becerra, News 3 Now.
No offense to Josh McCown, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. The Seahawks sacked him 7 times to boost them to a wild card win. Seattle and Green Bay have split the last 6 meetings, with the home team winning each time. Seahawks linebacker Bobby Wagner says the focus in practice this week is figuring out how to slow down the Packers' offense, which starts with slowing down number 12.
It'll be pretty difficult because, like I said, he's getting the ball out pretty quick, especially when he dropped back. He's trying to get the ball out fast, find his receivers, and put the ball in their hands to make plays. So it's going to be tough, but we feel like we can do it.
It don't mean a thing without that ring. Everyone chasing a chip. Oftentimes, professional athletes' greatness is measured by championships. Oftentimes, teams fall short. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is getting old in football years and says he doesn't want to waste any opportunities while he hunts a second Super Bowl ring.
It's on my mind every day. I mean, that's why we play the game. That's why you put in the time in the offseason. That's why you do the little things. It's to put yourself in this position where we're 2 games away from being able to compete for that. So, I mean, I'm 36. I know what this is all about. This is an important opportunity for us. I feel like I got a lot of really good years left, but you never know.
Someday I hope to ask J.J. Watt what it was like growing up on Krypton, running around, playing in the schoolyard with all the other super people. But he proved he can play this postseason after tearing his left pectoral muscle in late October. Texans head coach Bill O'Brien said Watt was a little more sore after Saturday's overtime win versus the Bills, not just because he played 50 of 81 plays, but because he hadn't played in any games for 2 months. With regard to preparing for the Chiefs, Watt said they're still working out how to best use the reps that he'll get on Sunday.
Just because I played 1 game doesn't mean my pec magically healed, It's still in basically the same situation it was in before this game, so... and obviously we played a little bit more in the last game than we expected to, so it's just a matter of making sure we have a good plan, sticking to the plan, and doing what we need to do all week long to make sure it's where it needs to be.
Ball night. Wisconsin women at Nebraska. Badgers down in the second half, going inside to Imani Lewis. Basket and the foul. She was the only Badger in double figures with 18 points. Nebraska proceeded to put up a 17-2 run, and they win 65-50. Wisconsin falls to 9-6 overall, 1-3 in conference play. Phoenix, Arizona, Suns-Kings game, puppy racing. That is all. It's like the Puppy Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday. Really, no need for me to say anything else except you're welcome, and the Phoenix Suns gorilla should be everyone's mascot. Just have a gorilla wear your team's jersey. Kevin Lewis in 2020. We're back after this.
Everybody's going to be talking about the snow.
Yeah, if you're looking at the thermometer right now, it's still 40 degrees. Doesn't feel like snow out there, but winter storm watch is in effect from noon Saturday until 6 a.m. Sunday for much of southern Wisconsin. That watch starts at 9 p.m. Friday for Rock and Walworth counties. First round of snow, about 1 to 3 inches for Friday night into early Saturday morning. Also could be some freezing rain down toward the Illinois state line. The second round of snow late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Could be looking at about 6 to 10 inches in the Madison area, maybe a foot in some spots to our east, a little bit less to the north and west. And then after that, temperatures cool down a little bit with some snow chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night into Saturday of next week.
All right, Gary, thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.